Chapter 222. The Overlord strikes. This person is strong. Xiaojin's eyes were grave as he said, sensing a powerful aura from the Black Demon King. Kang Chon's expression was bland and silent, not knowing what he was thinking. Soon, the serving maids of the Earth Immortal building served drinks and dishes to all the Emperor-level powerhouses, and there were even a dozen or so peerless beauties who performed poetic dances. Their delicate postures and shy faces were mesmerizing. The entire Earth Immortal building was suddenly filled with the scent of spring colors and wine. The Black Demon King lifted his wine cup, scanned all the Emperor-level powerhouses present, and laughed loudly. "Gentlemen, once we part today, I don't know when we can meet again. We will gather again in Heavenly City when we have the chance in the future. Godspeed, Black Demon King. I wish the Black Demon King a sweeping journey across the heavens and a mighty city of heavens." All the Emperor-level powerhouses raised their cups to congratulate each other. They suddenly realized that today's Black Demon King was not as arrogant and overbearing as he used to be. Instead, he was somewhat approachable. It was really surprising. "Everyone, please." The Dark Demon King finished his cup of wine, then signaled for the crowd to make themselves at home. At this time, the 100 Changes King stood up, her lithe figure, delicate and boneless, her stunningly beautiful face, her eyes gorgeous. She gently caressed the 3,000 strands of hair draped over her shoulders, pursed her lips and laughed. "Gentlemen, like the Black Demon King, my slave will be heading to the Heavenly City soon. So in the future you all can think of my slave." The following group of Emperor-level powerhouses couldn't help but shiver at the words. "Ghosts will miss you. They can't wait for you to leave the City of Earth earlier." Although the 100 Changes King looked voluptuous, like a heavenly maiden descending from the heavens, holy and incomparable, but those present knew that this guy had a million personalities. Who knew if it was a man or a woman, or maybe it was not a man or a woman? The thought of it was nauseating. It is Kang Chon in the crowd is also a frown. He learnt some information about the 100 Changes King from Fanxin. His heart is very disgusted. This person is simply a pervert. It is better to stay away from it. Although the crowd was very disgusted with the 100 Changes King in their hearts, on the surface, they still politely congratulated him. Everyone's face was smiling. They were truly happy to finally send this pervert away. The 100 Changes King did not know what was in the hearts of the crowd. She gave a light smile to the crowd, and then slowly sat down. The banquet was very simple. There was nothing else going on. There were only some familiar Imperial-level powerhouses talking to each other. The Hegemony King, 100 Changes King, and Black Demon King were also talking to each other. Time passed quickly, and after a period of song and dance, the banquet gradually came to an end. At this time, a brocade-clothed king walked in from outside the Earth Immortal building, his face full of arrogance. His stern gaze swept over all the Emperor-level powerhouses present, finally locking onto Kang Chon's body. Kang Chon sensed this pair of piercing rays of light and instantly looked over, only to see a hint of disdain flash through the eyes of this brocade-clothed youth. "It's him." Kang Chon was slightly startled, then sneered. Van Xin and Xiaojin on the side also discovered the identity of the visitor. It was none other than Wu Feng, the little bully king who had been making a lot of noise some time ago, and had been letting slip that he wanted to challenge Kang Chon. "The visitor is not good," Van Xin laughed. "I'll deal with this brat. Brother doesn't need to make a move," Little Gold snorted coldly. At this time, many people saw Wu Feng as the son of Overlord Wu Baishan. Wu Feng was still very famous in Earth City, and many people greeted him. After Wu Feng had dealt with the crowd, he walked towards the small river and said respectfully to Hegemony King, "Black Demon King and 100 Changes King, Father, Uncle Black Demon, 100 Changes Sister." When he spoke of Sister 100 Changes, Wu Feng's own eyes were a little off. It was obviously hard to bear, but he knew that at this time, the only way the other party would be happy was to address the 100 Changes King as his sister. As the son of the Hegemony King, Wu Feng still knew the 100 Changes King very well and knew the other party's preferences. Sure enough, after hearing Wu Feng call himself sister, the 100 Changes King's smile bloomed as she winkingly laughed. "Little Feng, it's still you who is sweet-talking. I haven't seen you for a while. Your cultivation has grown quite a bit again. Even amongst the imperial ranks, you are still considered to be in the middle of the pack." The Black Demon King on the side also smiled and nodded, saying, "Your nephew's qualifications are superb. His achievements will be unlimited in the future." Wu Feng was quick to be humble at his words and bowed respectfully. The Hegemon King opened his mouth at this time and said indifferently, "Aren't you in seclusion? Why did you suddenly come here?" As an emperor-level powerhouse and the son of the Hegemon King himself, Wu Feng naturally received the invitation from the Black Demon King a long time ago, only that he was in seclusion, so he did not come. "Father, my son heard that the prodigal Hegemony Emperor has also come here, so I have come to ask for some advice." Hearing his father's inquiry, Wu Feng respectfully said, and after he finished speaking, his sharp gaze swept towards the Kangchon trio far away. When all the emperor-level powerhouses heard this, they could not help but reveal a look of anticipation as they watched the show. They had also heard about Wu Fei's challenge to Kangchon, and were very curious in their hearts. The Dark Demon King's face was bland, but his gaze also looked towards Kangchon, while the 100 Changes King on the side was very curious and also had a look of watching the show. The Hegemony King sniffed and said in a deep voice, "You haven't seen him before, so how can you be sure that he is a prodigal?" After meeting Kangchon, Hegemon knew that Kangchon was unfathomable, even if he was weaker than him, if not by much. That was why he reminded his son. However, Wu Feng was too conceited. He arrogantly said, "Not even having the courage to accept my challenge. This kind of person still dares to call himself the hegemonic emperor. If I see him, I will beat him once I see him." Hearing these words, Xiaojin below immediately revealed an angry expression. While Brahma Xin was looking towards Kangchon, he wanted to know what kind of expression Kangchon had right now. But Kangchon had a bland face and was not irritated by Wu Feng's words. "Dao brother looks very bland." Brahma Xin couldn't help but laugh with a look of admiration. Kangchon smiled faintly and raised his cup to drink, without a trace of anger in his expression, as if he had not heard Wu Feng's sarcastic words. This kind of light-heartedness in the world could not help but make Vanshin secretly admire him. However, Xiaojin's temper was very short-tempered, and he couldn't tolerate others to speak ill of Kangchon the most. Almost the next moment, he jumped up and shouted, "Where did you come from, little brat? You don't take a piss. Just that virtue of yours also presumes to challenge my brother. Do you really think that my brother is someone who can be challenged by anyone?" As soon as the words fell, the crowd's eyes couldn't help but look towards Kangchon's three people. They had already guessed from Xiaojin's words that one of these three people was the Hegemony Emperor. Xiaojin was a demonic beast that couldn't possibly be the Hegemony Emperor. Vanshin was a monk, so the only one left was Kangchon, who was dressed in purple robes. At once, everyone's eyes focused on Kangchon's body. He's the Hegemony Emperor. It's somewhat imposing. It's not that great. It seems that the last trialists were very weak. A mere early imperial level swept across the entire city of Man battlefield. This person dares to call himself a hegemonic emperor. He really doesn't know how to die. Some of the emperor-level powerhouses were talking, and some even revealed gloating looks as they looked at the place with anticipation. Everyone knew Hegemony's name, and for Kangchon to dare to call himself Hegemony Emperor was clearly not giving Hegemony face, and they were all very curious as to how Hegemony would handle this matter. With Little Goal's harmony, the gazes of the Black Demon King, Hegemony King, and 100 Changes King all converged towards Kangchon's trio. Wu Feng took a few steps forward and laughed coldly. "Your brother. Since that's the case, I'll kill you, and I think your brother will stand up for you when the time comes." After saying that, Wu Feng bowed to the Overlord, Black Demon King, and 100 Changes King, and then his eyes full of murderous aura swept towards Xiaojin, and the blazing light was incomparably bright and dazzling. Kang Chon couldn't help but be surprised. This Wu Feng was indeed not simple. He instantly reminded Xiaojin, "Want to kill me? Just you are not even close. Let your old man come." Little Gold proudly patted his chest, his eyes flashing with disdain. The crowd of Emperor-level powerhouses couldn't help but be shocked. The Hegemony King was here and still dared to be so arrogant. This golden-furred monkey was not simple. The 100 Changes King couldn't help but laugh. It seems that Hegemony King hasn't put up a fight for a long time, and someone has already forgotten how strong you are. The Dark Demon King was undeniable, and in the midst of the silence, a cold smile flashed in his eyes. The Hegemony King did the same. His gaze was bland as he said, "Young people don't know any better. Why bother with them? Wasn't it the same for us back then?" The 100 Change King smiled at his words, his curious gaze continuing to look downwards. After Xiaojin's drinking voice fell, a sinister light shot out from Wu Feng's eyes as he laughed morosely. "What a big mouth. A mere hairy monkey dares to be so arrogant. It seems like you really don't know how the word death is written. The word death is written like this." Little Gold snorted coldly at his words, his whole body emitting a blazing golden light. Then his body slowly grew bigger and became a giant ape, roaring as he pounced towards Wu Feng. All the Emperor-level powerhouses immediately felt a powerful aura rising up to the sky, sweeping across the entire Earth Immortal building. Even the many spectators outside the Earth Immortal building exclaimed in shock. The Black Demon King, Overlord, and 100 Changes King also revealed a grave expression, their eyes filled with surprise. "Good timing. Today I will behead you in public. I want to see if that shrinking turtle will continue to shrink." When Wu Feng saw Xiaojin charging in, he was not surprised but delighted. He actually took a big step forward and raised his fist to blast. The battle collapsed the heavens and split the earth, instantly unfolding. Terrifying power swept through the entire space. The earth trembled, and the sound of roaring was unceasing. Everyone watched with unblinking eyes. Both Little Gold and Wu Feng's strength shocked everyone. The earth shook, the sky crumbled, and the entire Earth Immortal building was in turmoil. The battle between Wu Feng and Little Gold was very intense. Both sides were evenly matched, and they fought so hard that the sky crumbled, and it was very shocking to watch the crowd. Drink. With a roar, Little Gold's tall body was like a huge mountain, filled with a heavy sense of oppression. His pair of golden eyes flashed with fierce killing intent. Like a volcano that had been sleeping for 1,000 years suddenly erupted, and a terrifying aura swept through the entire space. This was the shocking sensation brought about by power that was so strong that it was at its peak, and the space around him seemed to be about to explode from that power. All of the Emperor-level powerhouses in the Earth Immortal building were shocked. The strength displayed by Little Gold had shocked them beyond measure. What kind of demonic beast was this? It was actually so powerful. A trace of curiosity surfaced in the eyes of the Black Demon King, Hegemony King, and 100 Changes King. Even they were unable to see through Little Gold's origin. It seemed to be a bit like the Golden Monkey amongst the demonic beasts. But the Golden Monkey didn't have such a powerful talent at all. Everyone was speculating about Little Gold's identity and origin. A demonic beast with such a talent was definitely extraordinary. Kang Chon looked at Xiaojin's fight with a bland expression, without the slightest worry in his eyes. Although Wu Feng was very powerful, but Xiaojin had not performed the fighting fist yet. Otherwise Wu Feng would definitely lose. Xiaojin, who possessed the fighting fist of victory, was not weaker than even Brahma Heart, definitely an expert in the Imperial grade. And only Hegemony King, Black Demon King, and 100 Changes King were able to press him a little bit. At the moment, although both sides were evenly matched, That was just Xiaojun warming up. His true strength had yet to be brought into play. On the other hand, Wu Feng, on the other hand, had already exploded his full strength, and his entire aura had coalesced to the peak. He swung his fists, looking out of the corner of his eye, his chi rushing into the sky, shaking the sky and shaking the earth. Xiaojun's whole body was blazing with golden light. He had already entered the stage of berserking, and with the power enhanced by berserking, he did not lose to Wu Feng at all. So powerful, worthy of being the legendary Vajra divine monkey. Fan Xin looked at this scene and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Having known Kang Tian and Xiaojun for so long, he naturally learnt about Xiaojun's identity and origin a long time ago. So there wasn't too much shock. After all, the Vajra divine monkey was a legendary and powerful divine beast.